Double narcotic brain poison. It's just as truly a habit-forming poison as morphine or cocaine. It lowers the defensive power of the white blood vessels. It decreases the oxygen-absorbing and oxygen-carrying power of the red vessels. It inflames the stomach. It hardens the arteries. It weakens the heart. It softens the brain. It clogs it rots the kidneys. And if you drink enough of it, it will give you a green brain and a red nose and a white liver and a black heart and put a yellow streak clear through you.
To drink or not to drink, this dilemma tore America apart for many decades until in 1919, the nation voted the 18th Amendment to the Constitution into law, prohibiting manufacture and sale of alcoholic beverages in the USA. For 13 years, not to drink was the law of the land, but the controversy continued. In 1932, the Democratic Party's candidate for president proclaimed,
"We advocate the repeal of the 18th Amendment."
Now, President Roosevelt in the Cabinet Room, the White House, is about to sign the long-awaited beer bill. The President signs the bill.
Why do you drink?
To get high and loaded.
Just truly pleasure. When I got a problem, I drink. Get in with the in crowd.
I'm at a party or something and everyone else is drinking.
It helps me relax.
Because I like the taste of it. I drink for socializing, that's about all.
"Drink my wine with milk. Eat, O friends, drink ye. Drink abundantly, O beloved." Since the earliest recorded times, man has cultivated the grape and brewed alcoholic beverages. Wine is part of man's culture, of his religious and social ceremony, and last but not least, of his economy.
Well, I wake up every morning.
Each year, more is spent on alcohol than on education.
Lay down at night, man, it's a gallon out of
The earnings of some nations depend on the export of liquor.
Yes,
Alcohol is big business.
Yes, I keep on drinking, drive my blues away. Baby,
Alcohol is such an ingrained aspect of our culture that its presence is rarely questioned.
drink, mama, now to drive my blues away. Yes, I keep on drinking.
We begin at a very early age to develop our social interaction around an alcohol situation.
Yes, I keep on drinking, drive my blues away.
Why are there vast sums of money spent on alcohol? Why do we drink? Microscopic cells of yeast are the agents that produce alcohol. When mixed with sugar and water, they attack the sugar in a process called fermentation, and ethyl alcohol is given off as a side product. After fermentation, a sugary mixture, such as grape juice, contains about 14% alcohol. When it is heated to 172.5 degrees Fahrenheit, the alcohol boils off as vapor. As the alcohol vapor cools, it condenses. The result is a more concentrated solution of ethyl alcohol called ethanol for short. It is a clear, colorless liquid used most often for making alcoholic beverages.
My secretary's got a BA, and it really bugs me to send her down to the Xerox machine.
When an alcoholic beverage is swallowed, it goes first to the stomach, where about 20% of the alcohol is absorbed. It requires no digestion, but simply passes through the stomach walls into veins that lead to the liver.
Hitler had a soul. Isn't really that thing the same thing?
Hitler did have a soul.
Well,
Thank you.
yeah, we could go anywhere.
Food in the stomach delays passage of the drink to the intestines where the rest of the alcohol is absorbed. It then passes to the liver where its metabolism or destruction is begun. Because the liver can destroy only a drop or two of alcohol at a time, about 1/3 of an ounce per hour, most of it passes into the bloodstream. Within a matter of minutes, the alcohol in the blood reaches the brain where it produces changes in mood and...
She's not promiscuous, only other people are.
An experiment with 80-proof vodka will show some of the effects alcohol has on coordination. First, the ball player drinks 4 ounces of vodka mixed with orange juice. 30 minutes later, this device, called a breathalyzer, is used to calculate the amount of alcohol in the ball player's blood by measuring the alcohol in his breath. There is a constant relationship of the alcohol in the alveoli in the lungs and the percentage of alcohol in the blood. The alcohol in the ball player's blood is 0.05%.
Oh, I'm getting pretty good.
30 minutes later, the ball player drinks 4 more ounces. Now the alcohol in the ball player's blood is 0.09%.
Ow! Okay.
The ball player drinks 4 more ounces, now a total of 12. 30 minutes later, his blood alcohol level reaches 0.13%.
Yeah. Ow!
The ball player's reaction time is slowing down. For this man to drive an automobile in such a condition would be suicidal.
Easy, easy. All right, watch your step there. Real. You always carry your sunglasses in your jacket pocket? Okay, let's turn around, have a seat in that chair, and relax for a couple of minutes. Okay, Mr. Vanyar, this is the breathalyzer test that we're going to give you. Do you understand that? Okay. And take the sample. Okay, Mr. Vanyar, here you go. Why don't you come over here, put your mouth in the little hole there, and give it a good, strong blow.
Laws differ from state to state in the percentages of alcohol in the blood which determine whether a person is legally under the influence.
You're right at a 0.11%. Okay, this ought to do it. You're going to be booked for driving under the influence of alcohol. The breathalyzer has given an indication that you would be under the influences. Was previously suspected.
In most people, it takes only a few beers or glasses of wine to be declared legally under the influence. Cases involving drunken driving and violence under the influence of alcohol are filling the courtrooms and jails of the nation. Have you given any thought to your drinking habits and what your responsibilities are if you drink? The American Medical Association has recently stated unequivocally that alcoholism is a disease. There are two distinct features to this disease. The first is the psychological disposition of the alcoholic that compels him to return to his bottle. The second feature is actual physical dependence or addiction.
I'm working on physical dependence to alcohol in mice. What we do is to put the mice into a no-choice situation in which the air that they breathe contains alcohol. These are mice that have been for 3 days in the vapor box and have now been out of the alcohol vapor for several hours, and they're beginning to show the physical sickness that we recognize as signs of physical dependence. And the specific sign that we can see most easily is a specific type of convulsion that the animals get when we pick them up by the tail. He pulls his front legs together and spreads his back legs out. His head goes back, and there's a peculiar grimace on his face all the time he's trembling. When an animal or a person stops taking any drug that he's become addicted to, he gets sick, really physically sick. Not just that they want more alcohol, but they're physically sick if they don't have it.
Very little is known about the causes of addiction and dependency. Therefore, little can be done to prevent or interrupt dependency by clinical means. The chronic alcoholic is not necessarily a skid row bump, but he craves his drink just as much.
You're not a wino. You're an alcoholic.
Hi.
Hi.
What happened to you? What brought you in this time?
A bunch of kids beat the hell out of me.
Here. Let me have you lie back. The alcoholic is so vulnerable to every kind of bacteria, every kind of infection that comes along. His defense system is usually shot. How old are you?
Gosh, I don't know.
Have you been eating while you've been drinking this time?
Maybe a meal a day.
Maybe a meal a day, huh? Well, his liver is certainly enlarged. I believe I can feel the spleen also.
The first slide I want to show you is that of a normal liver. You'll see by the scale in the left-hand corner, it's of normal size. You'll notice the color of the liver and its reddish-brownish color and its normal sheen. Normal liver. Next slide is a cross-section through the same liver in a non-alcoholic patient. And you'll see under the microscope the liver cells laid out very nicely in a lobular fashion. And this then is the structure microscopically of a normal liver. Let us take the liver now from a patient who has been drinking many years. And this slide shows the liver markedly enlarged, very fat-laden. It has a different type of a color, a purplish tawny color to it. And this liver is beginning to lose much of its function. If the patient now continues in his drinking another 5-10 years, we see this appearance. The liver is shrunken down, markedly scarred, very little, if any, function remaining. And finally, looking at this under the microscope, we see that the normal liver architecture, that nice lobular pattern that we saw just before, is no longer present. Instead, we see a lot of fibrous tissue, a lot of scar tissue. And you can well imagine then that there's very little left in the way of function for the individual who had this liver.
When I try to help a patient on the ward, sure, he may not have as much gastritis or pancreatitis or liver disease, but what do we have to offer that patient in life that is better than his drinking?
No magic pill, no quick cure. No force of law can change the fact that many people do drink, some of them excessively. Mothers and fathers, people old and young, men and women in positions of respect and leadership.
I just found I functioned better with it. I didn't know that I needed it. And as I look back on it, I don't think I was hooked on it. You know, I don't think I had reached the point of addiction. I just simply knew that I felt better with
the steady or the occasional drinkers never think of themselves as numbers in statistics. But any 1, even 2 out of 10 drinkers is a potential problem drinker.
At one point in every alcoholic's life, you find out you no longer just want it, you need it.
For the problem drinker, society is providing some help. The Alcoholics Anonymous, the clinics for alcoholics in major hospitals, social services, and private counseling.
Oh,
In all but
terrible.
the rarest cases, though, the individual must take the initiative himself.
But you started drinking continuously with it.
I started drinking as a sport and habit when I was 13.
Why?
Because everyone else did.
What is it?
In this counseling center, not only alcoholics, but their children and spouses are invited to participate. They are the alcoholic's environment, and their help and understanding are essential.
Make people think you're something that you ain't because you really hate what you think you are.
My dad was drinking then, and, there was, it was always between him and my mom. We were always by ourselves, He never really had that much on me.
When you feel all this pressure on you, you feel like saying, what do you feel like doing?
Just get off my back.
Yeah. Try to
Get off my back.
Could you get into it more?
Get off my back.
Yeah. Say it again.
Get off my back.
Say it louder.
Get off my back.
Louder.
Get off my back.
Louder.
Get off my back.
Should you yell it out?
Get off my back.
How's that feel?
I don't know. Kind of good.
Better, huh? Try something else. Could you move up to there and go to...
Since we recognize that alcohol is part of our social scene,
You can't do that on your own.
the big question is, therefore, not whether to drink or not to drink, but are you ready to make the choice between drinking responsibly or not drinking at all?